What's happening YouTube? RockN Moroccan here, and I'm bringing you the latest Shaddoll deck profile. First of all, this right here is actually not a side deck. This is different tech cards that you can put into the deck depending on your playstyle, and I'll talk about these in a few. Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, run one Exodius, the Forbidden Lord. If you don't know what he does, he basically just puts all your monsters back into the deck. Now, why would you do that? Well, after a while, you get basically start running out of monsters because of Shaddoll Fusion, which allows you to fuse monsters from your deck and send them to the graveyard. So after a while, you start running out of monsters. So he recycles everything back in there for you, so you can start all over again, including your beautiful fusion monsters. All right. Now, since I run light monsters, I throw in the one BLS. How easy or hard is it to bring him out? It's actually very easy, seeing how Shaddoll Fusion will send light monsters to the graveyard, and these two are light, that's a light, that's a light, light, well, right there, that's a light, and she's a dark. So right there you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 extra card decks are light, including these two. So you have a good amount, whatever. Anyway, so BLS, 2 Shaddoll Beast. Why not 3? Because he's a 5-star and you have to set him sometimes. So if you open up with 2 in the hand sometimes, that sucks. So 3 gets a little cloggy. 2 is more than enough. Some people might actually run 1, who knows. And you just send him to the graveyard and draw your 1 card. 3 dragons, because they help with that back row destruction. They can target 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls and then destroy it when they're sent by a card effect. 2 lizards. Maybe some people run 3. I run 2. His only purpose is to help dump more stuff into the graveyard. His flip effect is also good, which destroys 1 monster on the field. So if you can get his flip effect, that's great. But most of the time I just dump him to the graveyard to get his effect to send another card to keep my graveyard going, so that way I can go through my deck faster. 3 Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight, self-explanatory. He sends any dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's including Beast, so you can go ahead and draw that 1 card. Some people like to play Mathematician. He does the same exact thing, but except he can't send Beast. But you could use him to send Lizard, to then send Beast, to then draw your 1 card. He's also good with Magical Dimensions, since he is a spellcaster and all these are spellcasters. So you could combine all this good stuff with it. Alright, moving on. Honest, why Honest? You guys are thinking, well, BLS, how often are you going to get BLS and Honest in the same hand? Well, Honest is not actually there for BLS. I mean, it would be great if he's there for BLS, get, win real quick. But your Construct, she's actually a light monster. So if somebody can actually somehow overrun her, well, you have the Honest to freaking get over whatever that might be able to overrun you. So there you go. 3 Hedgehogs. He is your monster searcher when he's sent to the graveyard. Not only that, when he's flip summoned, he gets you your Shaddoll Fusion, which you need to be able to fuse. 3 Minervas. Okay, so why 3 Minervas? These are the light monsters that I chose, because when they sent to the graveyard from either the hand or the deck, no matter what, you get to mill 1 more card, and then when that card is sent, it's most likely going to be a Shaddoll card, which will then trigger its effect. It could even be Roots. Sometimes it's Roots, and it allows you to add Shaddoll Fusion back to your hand. Some people prefer Rainbow Karibo, so that's up to your playstyle. So when you go Shaddoll Fusion from your deck, Shaddoll Fusion to fuse monsters from your deck, you could either send the Rainbow Karibo or send the Minerva. Minerva gets sent to the graveyard, you mill 1 more. Some people don't like that idea because she just sits there and she's basically dead. While Rainbow Karibo, if he's in your graveyard, he can be special summoned to at least block 1 attack. So it's up to the different playstyles. 3 Falcons. Falcon is your special summoner from the graveyard. He can bring back any Shaddoll cards, including that little sucker right there, which he'll allow you to draw 2 cards and discard 1. I've actually discarded her as the cost for his effect to, again, send another card. He also will bring Hedgehog from the graveyard, which then you want to flip summon him to get this. As you can see, I'm only running 2 Shaddoll fusions. I keep going back and forth between 2 and 3. Sometimes I have too many Shaddoll fusions in hand. You think that might be crazy, but it's not. Because of roots. It keeps send roots to the graveyard, and then you get Shaddoll fusion back to your hand. Not to mention these guys, when they're sent to the graveyard, they also, if this guard's sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Shaddoll spell, 1 trap card in the graveyard, add it to your hand. Same thing goes with him. Add it back to your hand, so you always have it. Foolish Burial, why not? All these get their effect when they're just sent to the graveyard from the deck, and this is a card effect, so you can first turn send Lizard to send Beast to draw 1 more card, or send Lizard to send Hedgehog to add Falcon to your hand if you don't have Falcon, depending on what you want to do. Special summon to get that right there. 2 MSTs, don't need 3 at the moment because you have Dragon. Dragon can help. 2 Super Polys. Now, why Super Poly? Well, 2 things. One, you could use it for your own monsters if you want. But if you're going against, let's say, not particularly a mirror match, but let's say another dark deck or a light deck, Bujins for example, you could use this under your motto and discard for cost. By the way, when you discard a card for their cost, you don't get an effect for these guys because they have to be, it's part of the effect. So when they're sent by cost, you don't get their effect. But if you discard her for cost, you get her effect. But yeah, use this on your motto and bring her out. 3, they changed the name for this. It's, what is it, Shadow Sinister games right now in the English version. They help you send more of these guys to the graveyard, but also flip summon after you send to get effects off. The 1 compulse. 3 Shaddoll Roots, good for 2 things. 1, you could use it with Super Poly actually, with 1 of your Shaddoll cards to go into one of these, or you could use it with 1 of this from the field if your opponent doesn't control a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. Now, people are like, oh yeah, you can use it as 1 substitute, hurrah! Actually, also when it's sent to the graveyard, it allows you to add this right back to your hand. So if you activate this while this is actually active on the field and this is sent to the graveyard, this will trigger and add this right back to your hand. So 3 is good, and you can also send this to the graveyard with her to add this back to your hand, or send it to the graveyard with a Lizard because he can do that. Alright, next, actually, this also says you can send 1 Shaddoll card too, so you can send this to add this. Let's see, 2 Phoenix Chains, chose this over Veiler. Maybe I might go to Veiler because it's a light monster. Maybe, who knows, but I just like to stop my opponent from attacking sometimes and whatnot, because I have a better play. 1 Black Horn and 1 Warning. So this is switchable. You can switch these on and off. Bottomless instead of this if you want. I'm testing this out from time to time. Not really sure how I feel about it. It depends on the decks that I'm going against. But yeah, this is the main deck so far. So let's go to the extra deck. 2 Construct and 2. It's not called Midrash anymore. Forgot the new name. Whatever, doesn't matter. So 2 and 2, 1 out 3 and 3. If you have to go to a third one of that, then you're pretty much, kind of like you be losing at that point. But since you run Exodius, you can recycle these back in there and go all over again. 1 Leo, might take him out for something different. Spark Dragon, Black Rose. You have Spellcasters and you have a tuner. If you didn't know, Falco is actually a tuner, and combined with the different cards, you can go into a 6, into a 7, into a 5. So there you have it. And the 1 Goyo Guardian, the 1 Tempest Magician, she helps you burn for game. When she comes out, she already has 5 accounted for 500 damage to burn. But then you can discard other cards and burn for more. Also, you also run Minerva. She's a tuner as well. So you have your 6 right here, and then you have your 7s right there, and then you can also have an 8. What else? Armades, he's helpful in a bunch of different situations, especially against hands. Catastor for those times where you can't get over something. 101 and Castell, they're both really good. I like both of them in my opinion. This is actually very cheap right now. He's like $10, so if you can get one, go ahead and get him. Because he just the monster doesn't have to be face up. I mean, it has to be face up, but it doesn't have to be a special summon monster. So it says he can detach 2 miniatures from this card and target one face up other card on the field and shuffle that into the deck. So technically, it doesn't have to be a monster. It could be a continuous spell or trap card that you want to return back into the deck if you want for some strange reason, but it could be a face-up attack position monster that wasn't special summoned. It could be a special summon monster in defense. And then also, that last minute burn if they only have, 800 life points or less. So there you have it. That's my Shaddoll deck profile. Let me know what you guys think. I'll go ahead and do a tutorial in a few on how to actually play with these for the ones that are visual learners and need to see the different combos and scenarios of your hands. So I'll go ahead and post that in a few. Might take me some time. Gotta go take the pups out for a walk and whatnot. But let me know what else you want to see. Alright guys, rockin' out.